Hi, it's Bree. Let's practice together. Today I'm going to be having you do some listening practice. What's going to happen is I'm going to spell a word out loud. You're going to listen, try to figure out what those letters were, write them down on your paper, and then at the end you'll put them all together to make a word. So for example, if I said, my name is spelled B-R-I, listening to that when you have aphasia, listening to those letters is really tricky. I'll do it again written down just so you can see it. My name is spelled B-R-I, right? And this is something I have to educate students and family and caregivers on a lot because they don't realize that that is something that is really, really hard when you have aphasia. Today we're going to be practicing that. At home, I would actually recommend you use a strategy. You can write down all of the letters. I just did this on the back of a spiral. You can use a dry erase board like I did. It is something that you can practice and you can get better at, but until it's easy and comes second nature, I would recommend using sort of a strategy, writing it down or pointing B-R-I on something like a communication board. All right, but today, just to practice, we're only listening. I'm not going to write it down, I'm just going to say it, and I want you to see if you can get the letters. All right, as a hint, all of the words that I do today are going to be 4-letter words. So each of these words will have 4 letters. And just as an example, let's say that our word is line. Right, so I'm not gonna write it down in the video, but just as an example, to let you know, I'm going to say each letter 3 times. So if this was our word, I would say L, L, L. Then I would move on to the next one. I. Then I would move to the next letter. M, 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 E, 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 right? So hopefully that's enough repetitions for you that you can hear the right letter and get the right thing on your page. Or maybe if you heard it the first time and you're like, I'm pretty sure I got it, you can use those extra repetitions to double check your work. And then if it's still not enough time, if you're still like, I have no idea what that letter is, you can always rewind and watch that part again. Okay, before I put this next thing up on the page, I'm going to tell you that I made a little cheat sheet for the letters, and this can be an easier way to relearn your letters after a stroke or a brain injury. Instead of trying to go back and repair those pathways for learning letters, this is something you learned when you were like 5 years old. You were a little kid, and these pathways in your brain had a really long time to get strong and fast and good. And now all of a sudden you've had a stroke, and these pathways for letters are gone. Instead of trying to repair that old pathway, make a new one. That's what I tell people. Come up with a new association for each letter that can help you say it and can help you listen for it a little bit better. Put a new sort of mnemonic device with each letter, something that is more concrete, more something that you can picture in your head, and kind of tie those 2 things together. For example, for the letter B, you can think of a bumblebee, because we say those things the same. B, 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 B. So if you can hear that sound and think of an insect, the bee, and kind of connect it with the letter B, that can be an easier way to do it. Some of these, I'm not gonna lie, are a stretch. There is not a good mnemonic device for every letter of the alphabet. Some of them are so silly. I feel like I'm already gonna get questions about what A is supposed to be. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's the Fonz. He's saying A, because that's what I found works with a lot of my clients. Again, some of these are good, some of these are not. Okay, that said, I'm not going to go into every single one of these. If you have a question about what I drew, or what my association means, you can definitely ask. Otherwise, I'm just gonna put this up on the screen, and if it helps you, cool. And if it doesn't, just ignore it. You can just look at the letters and kind of like forget about my drawings on there. Okay, so let's give this a try. Let's see how it goes. Here we go. I'm gonna start spelling these words, and then you will write them down on a piece of paper. Remember, each word is 4 letters long, and I'm going to say each of the letters 3 times, right? So my example was lime, L, 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 I, M, 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 E, E, E. I'll go slower than that, but just kind of remember that that is the structure. Okay, let's get started. Enough talking, Bree. Let's get to the listening. Put a number 1 on your paper and get ready to listen. Your first letter is Q. 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 All right, that was the first letter. We're moving on to the second letter. U. 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 All right, next letter, I. 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 Okay, this is going to be your last letter in that first word, and it is Z. 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 All right, that should be your first word. You should have your first word written on your page. Q, U, I, Z. And we're gonna move on to the next word. Ready? Word number 2. Put the number 2 on your paper and get ready to listen. The first letter is W. 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 The next letter is A. 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 Okay, I'm going to move on to the next letter. The next letter is V. 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 Okay, and the last letter of the second word is E. 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 W. A. V. E. All right, that's it for word number 2. Again, all of the answers will be at the end, so stay tuned to see how many you got right. Okay, now we're moving on to word number 3. Go ahead and put 3 on your paper and then get ready to listen. Your first letter is K. 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 Okay, that was your first letter, and now we're moving on to our second letter, which is in. 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 All right, the next letter is O. 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 All right, the last letter of this word. Are you ready? Here it comes. T. 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 All right, how'd it go? You think you got it? K. N. O. T. You guys are doing great. Again, this is really hard. Doing this is really hard when you have aphasia. So kudos for being here and giving it your best. All right, we're moving on to word number 4. Go ahead and put that on your paper and get ready to listen. Your first letter is B. 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 The next letter is E. 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 All right, we're moving on to the next letter. Here it comes. A. 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 All right, and the last letter in that word is R. 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 B. E. A. R. All right, what do you think? Did you get it? Again, all of the answers will be at the end. You can double check your work. Here we go. Number 5. Put that on your paper. Get ready to listen. Here we go. The first letter is J. Again, J. J. Okay, your next letter, U. 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 And the next letter in this word is M. 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 Okay, and now we're on the last letter. Listen up. That letter is P. 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 J. U. M. P. And we're gonna do one more. Hang in there, guys. I know this is a lot. We're gonna put a number 6 on our page. This will be the last one. Listen up, see if you can get one more. You got this. Ready? Your first letter is C. 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 Okay, your next letter is I. 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 The next letter, T. 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 Okay, we have one more letter. You can do it. The next letter is Y. 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 C. I. T. Y. All right, that's all the letters of that word. So we have gone through all of the letters. You should have 6 words on your paper. I'm going to have you guys click on the link in the description below to get the answers. That way I don't ruin it for anybody. If you want to, you can go back and listen to this video again and again and again, because honestly, it does take a lot of practice. And then when you feel confident about your answers, you can click on the link below. All right, I would love to know what you guys thought about this. Was it too hard? Was it helpful? Would you want more videos like this or never again? Let me know in the comments and let me know if there's anything else I can do to help. All right, thank you for practicing with me today. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you again soon.